Arionne has always been a name that brings chaos, confusion, and controversy into the world of love and marriage Huntsville. From the very beginning, whenever her name is mentioned, the energy shifts. She knows exactly how to say something that will spark reactions. She knows how to get attention, whether it brings negativity or drama. And she seems to enjoy the spotlight, even if the spotlight is burning everything around her. This time, she is back again, loud, unfiltered, and trying to gain attention with her bold claims about her connection with Melody Shari's children. While many people online rolled their eyes, many others felt angry, confused, or protective of Melody. People wondered why Arionne keeps bringing up Melody's kids, why she keeps talking about Martell, and why she refuses to move on from a storyline that has already destroyed so much. Today, we are breaking down everything she said, why she said it, and how it shows the deep emotional layers behind this drama. When Arionne came forward and claimed she is connecting with Melody Shari's children, the whole internet paused for a second. Fans were shocked that she would even mention the kids, because everyone knows how Melody feels about protecting her children from unnecessary drama. Melody has always been very careful about keeping her kids away from messy storylines, lies, social media fights, and disrespect. She has set clear boundaries, and those boundaries are not flexible. So when Arionne decided to bring the children into her narrative, it felt like she crossed a line that was never meant to be crossed. Fans immediately started calling her out, questioning why she needed to even go in that direction. Some people felt it was disrespectful. Others felt it was desperate. But everyone felt it was unnecessary. Yet, Arionne didn't stop. She went deeper, saying things that made the situation even more uncomfortable and awkward. The truth is, Arionne has always struggled with separating her own issues from Melody's life. It seems like she is still emotionally stuck in a place where she believes what happened between her and Martell gives her some kind of unspoken access into Melody's world, as if her past mistakes somehow give her a permanent role in a story that does not belong to her. Many viewers believe she still wants a connection to Martell. And because Martell is connected to Melody and the kids, Arionne tries to stay relevant by mentioning the children. She thinks it keeps her name in the conversation. She thinks it gives her power. But what it really does is show that she's still holding on to something she should have let go of long ago. And it reveals a pattern. Every time Arionne feels ignored, she tries to say something shocking to bring attention back to herself. Melody, on the other hand, has done everything she can to create peace, stability, and emotional safety for her children. She doesn't talk about Arionne. She doesn't mention her name. She doesn't respond to her live videos, rants, shade, or comments. Melody's silence is intentional, and it is powerful. She understands that giving energy to negativity only feeds it, and she has learned through years of pain that not every battle is worth fighting. Melody chooses peace, and that peace has made her stronger. She focuses on her work, her kids, her healing, and her growth. She has built a beautiful life after going through one of the most public betrayals reality TV has ever seen. But Arionne continues to pop up like a shadow that refuses to disappear, trying to attach herself to Melody's storyline again and again. In reality, the only true connection between Arionne and Melody is Martell, and even that connection has faded. Martell's choices created years of hurt, embarrassment, and emotional stress for Melody. The marriage fell apart, the trust was shattered, the family was torn, and Arionne played a major role in that destruction. But even after all the consequences, the court battles, the public humiliation, the sleepless nights, and the healing journey Melody had to go through, Arionne continues to speak as if she is the one who was wronged. She often plays the victim, even though she contributed to the pain. And now adding the children into her conversations feels like a new level of boundary crossing that even Martell's supporters cannot defend. Martell himself has complicated the situation even further. This indecisiveness, his lack of accountability, and his constant back and forth behavior have made everything messier. He goes from co-parenting peacefully with Melody to arguing with her publicly. He goes from saying he wants his family back to hanging around Arionne. He goes from being calm online to posting things that create chaos. Many fans believe Martell's lack of firm boundaries with Arionne is the reason she feels bold enough to speak on Melody's kids. If Martell had drawn a clear, unbreakable line years ago, some of this wouldn't be happening. But Martell has always struggled with discipline and consistency, and now those old mistakes are still echoing into the present. The emotional impact on Melody's kids is something people rarely discuss. These kids are growing up in a world where their family drama is not private. It is public, loud, and constantly being talked about online. They didn't ask for any of this. They didn't choose it. They didn't deserve it. And Melody works extremely hard to keep them protected. But when grown adults like Arionne bring their names into conversations, it puts unnecessary weight on young, innocent minds. Children should be allowed to live freely without being pulled into grown folks' problems. This is why so many fans are angry, not just because Arionne mentioned the kids, but because it shows she is not thinking about their emotional well-being. Arionne keeps saying she doesn't care what people think, but every action she takes proves the opposite. People who truly don't care don't go on live videos for hours to prove something. They don't talk about the same topic year after year. They don't chase attention from people they claim to hate. Arionne wants validation, and she tries to get it by using shock value. But this time, the shock value is hurting children who have nothing to do with her life. And people are tired. They are tired of seeing the same storyline repeat itself. They are tired of watching Arionne's actions cause emotional disturbance. They are tired of seeing Melody's name dragged into situations she is already healed from. And they are tired of watching Martell avoid responsibility in the name of entertainment. Even though Arionne is trying to paint a picture that she has some kind of bond with Melody's children, the reality is the complete opposite. Melody has full control over who interacts with her kids. She is protective, careful, and observant. She does not allow people into her children's lives who bring chaos or emotional instability. So the idea that Arionne is forming a connection with the kids does not align with the truth. It feels more like a fantasy or an attempt to make herself relevant in a story that no longer includes her. And the way she said it, with confidence and attitude, made it even more uncomfortable. She spoke as if she had a right to say it, and that is what made the public reaction so intense. Arionne's history of inserting herself into situations that don't involve her has created a pattern. She often waits until something big happens in Melody or Martell's life, and then she comes forward with a statement, insult, or controversial comment. It's a cycle that repeats itself repeatedly, and each time, people ask the same question. When will she finally move on? When will she stop using the past as a weapon? When will she stop clinging to a relationship that did not lead anywhere meaningful? These questions remain unanswered because Arionne continues to act from a place of unresolved emotion. She has not healed, she has not grown, she has not accepted her role in the destruction. Instead, she tries to rewrite the narrative to make herself the misunderstood one, the innocent one, the strong one. But the truth always finds its way to the surface, and the truth is that her choices caused pain for an entire family. Meanwhile, Melody has built a peaceful life through hard work, prayer, therapy, and inner growth. She created businesses, she raised her kids with dignity, she focused on her purpose, she moved forward. Even when Martell tried to pull her back into negativity, she refused to step down to that level. Her silence speaks volumes. Her peace speaks loudly, and her success bothers the people who once tried to tear her down. When a woman heals, shines, and rises above the drama, it becomes impossible for others to drag her into the mud. And that is exactly why Arionne's attempts to involve Melody's kids look even more desperate, because Melody refuses to acknowledge her. But let's be honest, Arionne mentioning the kids doesn't only affect Melody. It also affects Martell. Even if he won't admit it publicly, he knows that dragging the children into this kind of drama can harm his relationship with them. Kids are smart. They hear things. They see things. They understand more than adults realize. One day, they will look back and understand how their parents behaved during this time. And Martell will have to face the reality of whether he protected his children or allowed unnecessary chaos around them. His choices now will shape his relationship with them later. And Arionne's involvement makes that even more complicated. The deeper issue here is that Arionne does not know how to detach from a situation that is long over. She keeps bringing up the past, the hurt, the affairs, and now the children because she hasn't truly accepted the truth that Martell chose his family. He married Melody, built with Melody, grew with Melody, and had 4 children with Melody. Arionne was part of a mistake, not part of the foundation. And that truth hurts her because she wanted a different ending. She wanted validation. She wanted acknowledgement. She wanted to feel important in a story where she was always the outsider looking in. That emotional wound keeps her speaking out, keeps her angry, keeps her feeling like she has something to prove, even when the audience has stopped listening. This situation has created a bigger conversation about respect, boundaries, and accountability. Many fans feel that adults need to leave children out of social media drama, reality TV arguments, and adult conflict. Children should never be tools for attention. They should never be used to trigger reactions, and they should never be mentioned by people who have no role in their lives. Arionne's decision to bring up Melody's kids crossed that line in the worst way, and that is why fans reacted so strongly. It wasn't about jealousy. It wasn't about rivalry. It wasn't about shade. It was about protecting innocent kids from unnecessary emotional damage. Even though Arionne continues to speak, continues to rant, and continues to involve people who never speak about her, the truth is simple. She is trying to stay relevant in a storyline that is no longer hers. Melody has moved on. The fans have moved on. Even Martell seems to be mentally moving in a different direction, even though he still struggles to make healthy choices. The only person holding on to the past is Arionne. And every time she brings up the children, she reveals just how deeply she is still stuck in the story. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the emotional well-being of the kids. Melody will continue to protect them. Martell, hopefully, will learn to make better decisions around them. And Arionne will eventually realize that using children to stay relevant will only bring more backlash, not acceptance. She needs to heal, let go, and move forward. Because this constant need for attention will never bring her peace. It will only bring more pain. This story is not about rivalry. It is not about drama. It is not about rumors. It is about boundaries, healing, motherhood, and respect. And until Arionne understands that, the cycle will continue. But one thing is clear. Those kids deserve a calm, peaceful, and drama-free life, and anyone who loves them should honor that, including Arionne.